Welcome back.
Welcome back
to TAE Time Podcast.
Welcome back. How are things? No. Stop. Look like I can't sing.
He's been saying this all day, like all day. I'm like, make it stop.
Do you like Childish Gambino? Very nice. 2 other versions. Look it up on the internet. Anyway, but yeah, no. Today, we come in with a fire, fresh. Oh, I was making sure I remember to say this is based on what we're going to be talking today. We're talking about The Ultimatum. It's on Netflix. If you don't want any spoilers, come back to this episode. Yeah, come back to this episode.
So yeah, exactly. I was just about to say as well. Like, today we are talking about the new show on Netflix called The Ultimatum, and we will be discussing like all the couples who they changed couples with and all that good stuff. So
the whole jazz,
just so you know, you might want to watch it and then come back to this podcast. But also, you may have noticed on our socials the little clips that are being uploaded now. So just before we get into The Ultimatum, like, just so you know, at TAE Time Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. So
yeah, Nicoletta's finally doing her job.
I am, and it's
after
fun.
Months, literally months.
It's exciting.
You know, we're on episode 36, or I mean 37. This episode 37, and
better late than never.
Better
late than never. And we're also switched sides, so it's a bit.
Yeah. By the way, we switched sides because she wants you to see her nose ring if you're watching the video form. So please put a comment down to make it worth. Even though it is what it is, but we move still. Still.
Back
Sparkling
on.
Water still.
You keep saying that.
Sparkling water still.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, exactly.
It's just in every episode. It's like,
did
you catch it in today's episode?
I didn't say in every episode.
Yeah, you did.
Let me know if I say in every episode. I don't think I did.
Only 2.
I said it in the last episode. I know sparkling water
still. All right, so The Ultimatum, as you said,
Ultimatum.
a show. I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis of the show because I wrote it down, so I might as well just, basically, we have 6 couples that come together, right? And one person in each couple has given the other an ultimatum, whether it is to get married or have kids, like, whatever the issue is. And then to test their relationship, they're coming together on the show. They get to know the other couples on the show. And for 1 week, they get to mingle among each other. And then they choose a different partner that they want to be living with for 3 weeks, which it's crazy. Like, it's crazy.
Insane. Absolutely wild.
And then after the 3 weeks that they've lived with the other person, they come back to their original person that they came in with, and they live with them for another 3 weeks before deciding what they're gonna do in their relationship. So did I miss anything?
No, you covered it pretty well. Did you get that synopsis from Netflix, or did you say it yourself?
I kind of put it together myself. Netflix was crap. It was like it just mentioned the hosts' names coming together to bring you some new show.
Yeah, I guess they don't want to give too much away.
Yeah,
they don't want you to figure out everything. But yeah, I know the show is wild, and let's get into this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So let me not cap. Nicoletta was the one that told me, let's watch this. And I was like half the time, not even half the time, majority of the time when Nicoletta's like, let's watch this, I actually don't enjoy half the shows, honestly.
Well, hang on. Because this isn't like watch this like regular show. It's crappy TV that I'm making you watch. So what's it called? Reality TV shows.
Yeah, reality TV
they're
shows.
Usually crap, to be fair.
I'm like, I have no interest in this. I don't want to do this. It's fucking painful. I have no interest whatsoever. But I'm not gonna lie, I was invested in this one. I'm not gonna lie, because it just invoked a lot of feelings out of me of anger and being like, damn, you're actually so stupid. All these people are so stupid, and the way they're doing things are stupid, and obviously that's what they want.
Yeah,
because that's what keeps you coming back, because like you're invested some way somehow, So absolutely they did hook me on to the scene.
I've never because I watch stuff with Farouk, and I see reactions kind of like out of him a lot from anime, a lot more than just TV shows, like as it is, or like whatever we're watching. And to see so much from him from like a reality TV show was crazy. Like it was my biggest dream coming through, Like we were up until like 2 a.m. watching, and we're like, oh, should we just watch another episode? And then we just continued it the next day because it's just really that good. I feel like every episode has some form of twists and turns that will just
that vexes you.
It will
That
vex
vexes
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so we have, what was it? As we said, we have 6 people, well, 6 couples, so 12 people in total. You have Madeline and you have Kobe,
Yeah.
you have Zay, you got Ray, you got April, you got Jake, you have Nate, you have Lauren, you have Hunter, and you have Alexis.
Well done.
Like,
And I'm the one who had it written down. Look at him remembering.
No, I remember all of them. I remember every single one of them. And so, couple wise, you had Nate with Lauren, like they came in together,
Yeah,
right?
they did.
Hunter came
Beautiful
in with Alexis, right? We have a lot to say about Alexis, not gonna lie. But Jake came in with April. Kobe came in with Madeline.
Well, essentially, everyone who
Yeah.
you just named
Yeah,
came in as a couple.
As a
but
couple, yeah. So like, oh yeah, Ray and Zay.
You
and
said them together, like
Shanique and Randall.
Yeah.
As well. So
Yeah.
yeah. So like all of them, came in as like their couple stages, and it was like whatever. But like when they first came in, like first episode, you're like, oh yeah, and you. So let me start off with Ray and Zay. There was already a problem there the moment you saw, because Ray issued the ultimatum, but it looked like she was the one that was undecisive more than Zay
about
was.
what she wants, yeah. A little bit.
About what she wanted, She didn't know what she wanted. While Zay was like, yo, I'm pretty calm. Like, I want you, Like, it felt like Zay was really the one giving the ultimatum, even though Ray was on the bottom of the show, which is kind of mad, because, like, Ray is, like, a quietish girl. She's kind of meek, whatever. She doesn't like confrontation, it seems like, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's because she's a nurse, so then it kind of comes from that kind of, like...
Because nurses are very out
I
there.
don't think so. I think they're always very, like... They're just nurturing type
What nurses
people.
do you know, fam?
I don't know, calm ones.
All nurses I know are all like, yeah, party. They're some of the craziest people man.
No, but Ray is wild, though. That's
Like-
not to say she just, like, come on, she was, like, twerking on my man's
Yeah,
leg.
yeah, but I mean, like,
stuff, but,
I mean, like, they just say what they want, like, and stuff like that. I tend to,
I don't know.
But yeah, no, like that was a weird pairing, like you could see from the get go, and then you had what's it called? Another weird pairing from the get go was Kobe Madeline, like. Kobe was so full on Madeline, and then she was just like, oh yeah, the moment I walked in, I was like, Randall is sexy. I'm like, what?
Straight from the get-go.
Straight, I'm like, damn, you just came in with your mans, and you're like, damn, Randall's sex.
Yeah, I think she was just very, like, open to everything, and it's just like, I just want to get to know this person, and like she had the hard eyes 100%. Like,
100%.
I don't know, it's like.
Like I was lost for words. And then you have Shanique and Randall. That felt like a weird pairing. Honestly, felt like such a weird pairing, because like Shanique is like so like headstrong and like doesn't do it, and Randall's very calm, and like they're complete opposites.
Yeah, they're.
And I was just like, what the hell is going on here? Like it's just weird. You could just tell. I was like, this dynamic is not that good. Well, you had Alexis and Hunter, like there was nothing. We didn't really know anything.
I feel like we didn't get to know Hunter at all on the show.
We didn't.
Like he didn't really.
Not even just we didn't get to know Hunter. Like I feel like them coming in as a couple wasn't that deep. You get me? Like everyone else, you could see something.
Yeah, but
they were just like,
I just mean in terms of like at least we got to know Alexis and what she was like, and very like out there.
Yeah, but we didn't really know much about Hunter.
We didn't know anything about Hunter, so.
And then Nate and Lauren, like there was nothing there besides the fact it's like, one wants kids, the other one doesn't want kids. That was pretty much it. Like there was no weird flag at the start. Like at the start, when you were seeing them at the like pool, like the first episode when
he was very into Shanique though. He was like very like
no, but I'm saying like when they first came in, this is before they even started doing their datings. Like the first episode when they first came in the pools, like because we got clips of like them before they went into split into their single life, and like we kind of saw how they were as like in their own couple group, but we never really saw anything out of Nate and Lauren, like like the way we saw like Ray and Zay, like weirdly. And then it gets interesting then when, as you said, like everyone goes into their own single life, for that 1 week of dating around, looking at each other, and like Nate was, as you said, super into Shanique, and he was like talking mad, like being like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. He was also into like April as well, like when he was talking to her, I know. And then it's funny because later on, April was like, yeah, you weren't even talking to me, you just staring at my tits half the time, you know?
Was it her that said that?
Yeah, she was like, she's like, that literally, like, Lauren, I didn't, like, she said she told her, but Lauren said she never told her. But she told Kobe, right, or Jake or whoever she told, being like, oh yeah, he'd be talking to me and just stare at my tits, stare out, and like blah 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 blah. And I'm like, whoa, Nate. But Nate is a dickhead. Like, what do you think about Nate? Like, he's probably he's a very interesting one to go into first.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking we'd just go couple by couple from beginning to end rather than like per section, so that we could,
sounds
you know,
good.
I think Nate was just so hot-headed and just kind of like, you know, once like the girl didn't want to choose him back, he was just very like, impulsively asks Lauren to like get married. So it was just...
Yeah, no, because like it was crazy because like all the girls didn't want to give him attention. They were just like being like, yeah, I don't want you. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like to Madeline, I'm going to choose you. I'm going to choose you. On the table, literally, like 10 minutes before he proposed to Lauren, and being like, hey, Lauren, I actually love you. And the fact that everyone doesn't want me, but you were about to say someone makes me crazy. But in reality, it has nothing to do with that. It has to be with the fact that I've decided in these last 10 minutes that I do not care about kids anymore and I will stay with you forever. Yeah. I'm like, you're lying through your fucking teeth, you motherfucker. Like, what? That was such a bullshit proposal. Like,
I agree.
There's no one in the world. I'd be so
upset if someone proposed to me like that. Like, I'd be
like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look at the camera right now. Lauren, you're dumb as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that you fell for that shit, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you've been with this man for 2 years or whatever the fuck, 2.5 years. You can't just go right away 2.5. Shut the fuck up.
See, and from the beginning of like when I saw them together and then I saw them mingling, I really wanted her to go through this experience with someone else just because I felt like she wasn't getting that like love that she should get from Nate. And like, obviously I don't know why he's actually like in real person, whatever, but from that
it says a lot about his character,
you know, I was like, damn, like I really want this for this girl. Like I want her to go through with it. And it was just really unfortunate. Her reaction disappointed me though. It was very like, you don't know anything. This is our relationship.
You don't know anything. It's so stupid. I don't like, Nicoletta and I have been together for like nearly 9 years now. Right? The fuck, right? Oh my days, like the way, like she was like 2.5 years, and yeah, you can be like, oh yeah, we were younger or whatever, but even if you do want to count when we were younger, fucking what, we were like you want to count from like we're 20, we're about like we've been together for 4 years. And,
it's
like,
still longer. You know,
it's still longer than 2.5 years. You don't know shit. No, you literally like this dude. Literally, Madeline told her, being like, yo, 10 minutes ago he was literally like, I'm gonna choose you.
If it was even 10 minutes, like for fuck's sake,
whatever.
It was all in the same breath.
And literally, he goes and then proposes to you. If that was me, as a girl, as a woman, I'd be like, no, we are staying on this fucking show.
Yeah.
When we see what's up. Because this is not the time or place. After everything has just happened, you just flip the switch magically, you know?
Oh, come on. But the fact that she didn't see that as a red flag, can you imagine what he's like to her on the regular?
She didn't deep it, like, you know, and like on the reunion they're like, oh yeah, we've been going to therapy and stuff, and you know, we've decided one for now that we're gonna have one kid. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying.
But it just sounds like she's kind of let her side, like let him win, because she didn't want any kids, like, and now she's like down to have one when because I feel like kids isn't one of those things that you can compromise on. It's either happening or it isn't.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's not even like adopting because she just doesn't want children. Yeah. And all of a sudden, after a couple of months, she's like, actually, I'll have one.
Well, the thing is, she wants kids, but she just didn't. She had the fear of, one, the pregnancy. She said 25% pregnancy and 75% of like raising a child.
Yeah.
And how much effort that is. And that was because obviously Nate never showed like he would be a good, because she literally said Nate is always off working, you know, so I'd have to raise the kid by myself, you know, essentially.
Like, what?
So, and that was her fear. It wasn't the fact that she didn't want kids. She just didn't want to raise kids by herself, you know.
So straight away, just go on the show and be with someone else.
So I assume like when whatever therapy session, hopefully, like, benefit of the doubt that they worked out that, Nate, you got to be there and help raise this kid, this one kid, right? And then it's like, yeah, whatever. But still, like, Nate, bro, like, Nate was going in there to have a free pass. I'm not going to lie. He was looking there to fuck bitches and dip. Like, that's what he was looking to do. I don't care. You can say whatever you want, man. You can run me on the street. I will run hands with you. You dumbass motherfucker. You were lying through your teeth. You were getting vexed at everyone for calling you out on your bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't care even if you go to your grave still saying that. We all know you're capping.
Yeah.
Like, we all know you're capping. It's not a situation of like, this was this was that. They edited to, like, because sometimes you can be like, they edited to make it look like this, right? But the fact that we literally saw you ask someone after everything happened, and then in the reunion, you were still trying to be iffy about it, knows that, bro, take it to your grave all you want. Yeah. We know the fuck you're lying.
I love that in the reunion they replay the part where he asks Madeline, like, he tells Madeline, I'm gonna choose you,
and then Lauren's like,
oh my days, like, I just love that, and that was beautiful. But I was upset to see her exit so quickly.
At the very start, they didn't go through the process.
So that was.
But she was gonna end up with Kobe, which was like pointless because realistically, Kobe would have never chose her. He just went back to Madeline anyway. So, like, that's she true. At least saved her time there.
That's true. But anyway, the other couple that left very quickly off the show, let's get them out of the way.
Hunter and Alexis.
Yeah.
Hunter and Alexis.
What was your
Hunter's
opinion?
calm, bro.
Yeah.
Hunter's calm. Hunter's a G, whatever, I feel like Hunter was forced in a little tight spot, not gonna lie. Because let me tell you right now, I don't rate Alexis. I'll tell you right now. You two, run hands with me on the street. I won't hit you, though, because you're a girl. But, like, run hands with me on the street if you see me. I don't even care. I say this from my chest. You are a maniacal bitch. You are an absolutely maniacal bitch. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. Bro, this girl, she was the one that issued the ultimatum, right? And blah de blah de blah.
Was she?
She was on the issue because Kobe was the only guy that issued an ultimatum.
Okay.
She was on the issue the ultimatum, right? Because essentially Hunter wasn't ready, right? And she wanted also. I think she was also kind of like Shanique, where she wanted them to be engaged before they moved in together or whatever the story, right?
I think so.
And but the thing is, she put the ultimatum.
She went gold digger though.
Bro, she went around talking to people, and saying like, blah de blah de blah, and then saying like, I want my partner to be super financially blah de blah de blah. She's like, I don't want us to just be okay. I want us to be good. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. That statement on its own is fine. But it was the way she was like putting it with the rest of the thing in context that she was like essentially being like, I want us to have a lot of money. Okay?
Yeah, I don't want to have to. I think she said something like, I don't want to.
Because even in the reunion, she eventually said, what's it called? The whole thing of, we've come to a position in which we've compromised that we don't need to have as much money.
Yeah.
And I was like, wild. Oh, really? I don't believe
all of a sudden her whole mindset has changed.
But remember, she was going on dates with everyone, doing this, doing that. And like, how did you feel about it? Like, when she was on dates with people, like, what was your perspective?
No, like I definitely sense the money hungry type person. I just feel like she brought it up in every single conversation, so it was just a bit extreme. So yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say something, but you cut me off, so I don't remember.
Oh, sorry. No.
I don't remember.
No, because we were talking about the pool situation, about how she was talking about or whatever to everyone, and with the money situation. But at the same time, it was a situation literally when she was talking to Kobe, she was saying that, and Kobe was like, "Yikes, that's a yikes for me."
Yeah, I think what happened with Kobe was he wasn't attracted to her. Yeah. And then he rejected her respectfully, and then she walked away respectfully, but then she came back
the next day.
And was like, give me the actual reason or whatever she said. And then when he actually said, I'm not attracted to you, she did not take that well at all.
She did not take. She was petty, ultra petty. Bro, the fact that Kobe just said, I'm not attracted to you, I'm telling you, that's gonna live in her brain rent free for the rest of her life.
100%.
Like, Kobe lives in her brain rent free literally till the end of her life.
Yeah.
Because he called her ugly. Like, essentially, he's like, I don't. And he didn't even call her ugly. He just said, I'm not attracted to you.
Yeah. He didn't even say you're not attractive.
He didn't even say you weren't a good person or whatever. He said, I'm not attracted to you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean, oh, looks wise. Even though I like to think he was talking about looks. But it was like, maybe I'm not attracted to you as a person, whatever, right?
Did you see when she was doing the commentary, she was like, I know I'm an attractive person. I know that I can, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl.
So, and essentially, none of the other lads were feeling her at all. Not a single one of the other lads were feeling her. And Kobe was essentially her only bet. And he said, yeah, I don't find you attractive. And she lost it.
Yeah,
she lost it. And then in the meeting when they were picking their partners, even though she decided on the ultimatum, was essentially went to Hunter and said, like, I don't want to do this because no one finds me attractive. So if you don't leave with me, I'm leaving you. She literally said that, essentially,
It was a bit extreme, wasn't it?
She literally said that. So Hunter was like, stand up right now, propose to you. Hunter, fair dues to you because you probably actually do care about her. But I would severely consider your relationship with her because she forced you into a corner because other guys didn't want her. I'm telling you right now, if Kobe had wanted her, that show would have went a whole different way. Kobe wouldn't have been with her in the end, obviously. But because he would have went for Madeline because he's madly in love with her. But she would have had no problem being on the show, trying to do whatever. And then maybe been like, I don't know. Simply because no one wanted her, she retaliated and said, marry me or fuck off.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of nasty, but at the same time, I'm really glad we didn't have her on the show. I think she's just been really, really annoying. It should have just been annoying me the entire time.
And she's an antagonist.
And ironically then at the end of the show, they were like, yeah, we're not engaged or whatever, we're working on it because she wasn't wearing her ring, so they didn't get married.
No, that was Shanique and Randall. No,
I thought she wasn't wearing her ring either.
No, they were wearing.
Were they?
Yeah, no, they were still engaged and they're living together.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
sorry.
no, they were.
That's
still,
how memorable they were.
Yeah, they were memorable. Honestly, I feel like Hunter. I feel so bad for Hunter.
Yeah, same.
I feel like he got played so hard.
He's stuck.
He got really stuck in that scenario. But the thing is, he actually cares about her, so I guess for him it's a win, right? But in the eyes of an outsider looking in, I'm like, bro, you just took an L right there, man.
No, that's true.
Honestly.
But then coming back then to Shanique and Randall, since they kind of came up, what was your
Shanique and Randall
opinion on them?
Is a weird couple, and as you said, they got engaged at the end of the show, after all their trials and tribulation, and then they left each other for a while, and then they got back together, and they're back together again. They're just dating now.
6 months, they're out for 6 months after the show. Oh.
And they're just dating now. They're not engaged anymore. But I feel like it's a weird couple to me. I feel like at the end of the day, they did sort out their stuff. I do really feel like they sorted out their stuff because Shanique realized that she wasn't really listening to Randall. And Randall realized that he wasn't fully understanding Shanique as a person.
Yeah.
And them together was weird, but I think it worked out in the end because they both realized essentially that she realized I wasn't listening to him enough, and he realized I wasn't really fully understanding her as a person. And it looks like I think they're a much better couple now. And so the experience technically did work off. Well, it was actually the experience. It was them taking a break after the experience.
I think that's what made it work out.
That made it work out because in the experience I actually kind of drove a little wedge with them, and I'm pretty sure part of the reason Randall left her is because she slept with Zay, because all he did was lips Madeline.
But we don't know if she slept with Zay.
Well, she did something more than just kissing Zay anyway, for sure. Anyway, but all he did was lips Madeline. And the weird thing is, I feel like when I look back on it, because during the time I was like, is Randall really liking this Madeline chick?
But he kept saying stuff like, I can see myself with you. I can see a future with you.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
And at the time, it felt really believable. But near the end, I was like, I think this guy was playing a game the entire time. I think he just didn't want to look like a dickhead, I think he was playing. I think he was stringing her along. I'm not lying, because with the way he was talking to Shanique in the end and being with her, I think he was stringing Madeline along. I could be wrong. I'd love you to come up on the show, Randall, and tell me if I was wrong or not. But I felt like you were stringing her along.
At Randall.com.
I felt like you were stringing her along for sure, because she was just really into him. you know, and he was like kind of like saying yes and that, but he only kissed her twice. Kissed her off camera once, and then
I mean, that's what we know, but
yeah, and then kissed her on camera once, you know, near the end, later on their final date before they all moved in with their partners, you know, because that was pretty much because she was begging for it. You know, she was literally like, I need some physical, like whatever, because you know that's how I know.
So
whatever.
I can see what you mean by stringing her along, just because I remember he had an interaction with Shanique while he was in the relationship, and then she did the whole he said fit walk away, and he was very, very mature about it and wanting to like sort things out. So it was like you could tell that she was clearly his priority.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
In the back of his mind, like that's kind of what it was. So like I can see that point, but still, like I think he was a little too. It was believable for me how he was with Madeline, and like in my head, I kept going like, why? Like, but
why this gal?
This makes sense.
Of all people,
because just not a fan of Madeline. So,
no.
But then, like, how did you feel that Shanique and Zay did together instead of?
So you see, Shanique and Zay was like calm at the start because it was just like essentially two good friends. Like she was trying to help him, whatever. And I think the thing that happened when they got together was literally Shanique being petty as fuck. She was being super petty. She's like, oh, so you kiss Madeline and she said herself, she's like, oh, it's weird that everyone else is out here doing all these physical stuff, you know, whatever, and we're just out here chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Like, maybe this is what we need to do. And she was trying to justify it, you know,
take advantage of the free pass.
You know, she was trying to justify it, and like they went off, did whatever they did, and then, you know, at least she told Randall. But I'm pretty sure Randall was vexed when he heard that. Because I'd be vexed if I heard that. Because if she'd kissed Zay, I think he wouldn't have cared. I don't think he would have cared. But the fact that she, like, not only did she do more than kissing, she did it because he kissed Madeline. That's just levels of pettiness. Absolute levels of pettiness that I cannot support.
But then is Randall in the okay because there was a connection with him and her, or what?
No, he's not. Like the I think all of them, like I think it was okay for any of them to kiss each other, right? I think because like essentially you guys were broken up during the 3 weeks you were with the other person. You can do whatever you want. You're single. Absolutely. Even if you want to lips them, sleep with them, that's on you, right? That's your decision to make. But you also have to be able to remember that you have to go back to your partner, and there's like, yes, you were all single, but there are going to be consequences to your actions, right?
Oh, 100%.
And I think Randall did the best he could, where he, like, kissing her twice, as far as we know, is really not that bad.
No, but the words were bad. It was very emotional cheating, despite it not being cheating.
But the idea is that you're meant to, like, try to do whatever, right? And I still think Randall was playing the game in the end, because at first I was on your page, but I think near the end when I think he was just playing games. But either way, like, Randall, I feel, out of everyone on the show, like, besides obviously Jake and Abel, Kobe and Abel, because they didn't really give a shit about each other because they were just doing it just to do it, to stay in the show, he was the most mature in the way he went about the ultimatum, right?
Randall.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, like, he didn't really, like, give all of himself to Madeline, but he still tried, right? As much to be like, let me see what it's like to be with someone else and see what gaps I'm missing, right? But
I feel like, in a way, Shanique having some sort of, like, physical thing with Zay helped her, like, really establish the fact that there wasn't, in fact, anything there. And maybe that's what helped her get to where she needed to, despite it being petty or not. Like,
yeah, I absolutely
it solidified things.
I think it was a petty thing that she did, but I think she did get, like, some clarity out of it, right?
Yeah, solidifying, like, the fact that, like,
she really likes Randall, blah, 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 blah. I absolutely agree. I think the problem is that it came from a place of pettiness. It's not that she did it. It's that problem it came from pettiness. And I would say that's probably a big problem Randall also had, that it came from a place of pettiness and not that she did it. Because, like, yeah, she did it. You can, like, if there was actually a connection there, and she's like, I felt there was a connection there, we did it, and I've actually realized I actually don't feel that, you know, it was like all like just grass is greener effect, you know?
Okay.
I feel like Randall is like I felt like he was the most sensible person on the show. Like obviously, like because Kobe's fucking crazy, Madeline is God knows what.
I don't know. I think to me it was April all along.
April
so-
kinda, because I think April's a close second for me. Right, like I think they're interchangeable, but I still think Randall was very level-headed in his approach to it. Right,
okay.
whereas April was not realistic. Let's be honest. Like April was madly in love with Jake, but she could not tell until after the show that the 3 weeks Jake was in the house that Jake was thinking about Ray the entire time.
Yeah.
Right? Because she was so blinded, right?
I don't know. I don't know about blinded. I feel like there probably was some sense of that to her, but she was like, let me try to work this out with him and try to like get him out of that. Like the last thing you want is to just be like, yeah, my boyfriend's just thinking of some other girl, and I'm just gonna sit here and look at him think of some other girl. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, like I feel like she was also too self-centered in their relationship, which also makes her not level-headed. Because I feel like Randall genuinely, like, he was thinking about Shanique, like, you know, in serious scenarios. Even when he came back, right, he was like, yo, let me try be better, blah de blah, but I also need you to do this. And then Shanique would keep doing the eye rolls, eyebrow lifting. To be honest, that thing vexed. If I was him, that would vex me. I couldn't date her.
Yeah.
I couldn't vet someone. It's one thing for someone to verbally say they dislike something or whatever, but doing facial expressions and not backing it up pisses me off, because it seems so cowardice, right? It seems like you're not willing to actually be upfront about something. You're just doing subtle things that you know I'm going to notice, kind of things, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of vexes me, but that's a different story for another day. But like, yeah, no, I honestly think Randall did the best he could, and like I was surprised honestly when he did propose to Shanique. Like I knew he cared about her, but I thought he would be like, maybe we should go. I literally thought he was going to do what they did after the show, where they would take a break and maybe see if they could revisit it, right?
Yeah.
Because there was just so much problems there.
I don't even think it's all from Randall's side though. As much as you say that, oh, it was because of what she did, I think she wanted a break more than he wanted a break, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was the one. She was the one
crazy for him at the end. Like
she was the one that was very confidently talking about needing the break and stuff. Even in the
in the reunion.
Yeah. So like I don't know. I sensed that she needed the break, and like she talked like she needed the break. So it was probably on both sides. But
yeah, well, all right. Yeah,
you know.
That's fair. That's actually a very fair point. But yeah, no, like that couple is overall, they were the most calm couple of the show, I think.
Yeah.
Like everyone else had that was like of the 4 remaining ones.
Yeah.
No, to be honest, of all 6, I would say they were the most calm couple. Like if I was to put a tier, fucking Randall and Shanique had the least fucking problems out of all 6 couples.
Yeah, they were quite chill.
You know,
they were quite chill. So then on to April and Jake.
That's a fucking. Technically, we can't talk about April and Jake without also bringing in Ray and Zayd.
Yeah, but
because they're
it's
so
okay.
tightly.
We can mix them.
Yeah,
mix
they're
and
so
match.
tightly coupled. Like, you know. But yeah, April and Jake was a weird one from the start. Like Jake was so. Like April was the one that like brought the ultimatum, and she was so much from the start. She was
a lot.
She was like,
Yeah.
I love him, and like I want to have kids, and we gotta do this now, blah blah blah.
But I think like some people's personalities just are
she's
like
very
that.
strong.
Yeah,
as they called her Filipino firecracker. That's what Jake's mom called her, right? It's like she was very hot headed, very like, you know, she's like, I like this is what I want, this is what I do, I go for it. Which for a folk story, you know, like that's great, like in the world, like for how you approach life. But I feel like for a relationship, that's a lot. I think if you don't have someone that's like that, that's a lot. Like for me, if I was Jake, that would be a lot for me. I would personally, before she even gave the ultimatum, I would have already left.
But I mean, like, he's clearly dealt with it for quite some time, so it wasn't like...
Yeah, sure. Like, he kept saying, as they saw in the clips, like, I didn't want to go on this show. You know, and all this jazz. But, like, yeah, no, like, it's kind of crazy how the whole, like, April and Jake's situation. Like, how would you summarize their whole thing?
Oh God, it was such a shit show, wasn't it? I really, really like April. She was my favorite on the whole show. I think her maturity really, really showed from the get-go when she didn't, like, she was kind of left without, like a pairing, and she was very, like, willing to be like, guys, this is not what, we're here for. We're here to, just, like, experience this thing as hard as it is. Let's just
cop out statements of getting
no
married.
Cop out statement. I like that. So like I really liked her. I feel like throughout the show she's shown a lot of growth and like maturity, and like obviously in the end they didn't end up together, but I think it worked out for the best for her.
Yeah, it did.
I really liked her. Didn't like Jake at all. Like
Jake was Jake was very, very. I think my problem with Jake is that he was very quick to give up on April.
Yep.
And I think that's because he's already mentally given up on April before he entered the show. Like, he can say whatever the hell he wants, but he mentally already gave up on April before he entered the show. And when Ray was so much like him and like so literally she was the perfect example of grass is greener. Like, he's like, all the problems I have with April, I don't have with her. And like, obviously Ray, like, no one is perfect. Ray has her own downfalls and so on and so forth. But he couldn't see any of those downfalls because they were like, they were so similar. And he's like, everything that's good about you is good.
Also, like, it's 3 weeks, like it's not long enough
it's not long enough to really see that.
So everything is just green.
And they never argued once throughout the entire 3 weeks, which like most people would be like, yeah, that's good, but no, because then you don't really know. That means like, well, you can't agree on everything. There's things you disagree with. You don't have to argue, but you can have disagreements and like talk about them. Like, like Nicola and I don't agree on everything. There are things we disagree with, but we'll talk about it and we'll discuss it.
But I think if everything is the exact same about, like, I think it'd just be so boring if.
Once again, like, I think they did have a fair point that sometimes, like, people always say opposite attracts, but sometimes similars are also good. I think it all works on who you are and how you operate. Like, some people like having that push-pull the push-push kind of like attraction where like you're both different, so you keep pushing each other. And then some people like pull, where it's like you're both the same, so you're both pulling at each other. Like, it depends on each one. But like, Jake just gave up on April already so quick, and he turned for Ray real quick. Who knows? Like, maybe for him it's true love. Like, he had true love for Ray from the get-go.
It's not true love if they didn't end up together.
But that was from Ray's side, though.
Yeah,
like,
but
clearly you could tell in our reunion that Jake wants to be with Ray, but Ray did not want to. Bro, after the show, Ray literally was back in fucking Zay.
Day one, because at the end of the show, Jake got the tickets for them to travel anywhere, and then
the tickets,
tickets, whatever, and then it was like, oh, Ray, did you go? And then she's like, no, blah blah blah, and then later on Zay is like, because we was together.
Yeah, we were together. That's why he didn't go.
That's why he didn't go anywhere. Yeah. I was shook. I was like, no. I didn't think she would after how ended things.
Badly they ended. You would never think that, But shook. No, Zay knows he's putting the work, man. Zay's putting in the work because she came
several times a day.
Yeah, several times a day because she came running back, bro. For real. Nah, that shit was wild to me because
she punched him.
She punched him. They were beefing a lot. They were so different, and she looked like she was madly in love with Jake. She made it literally look like they literally looked like the scenario you wouldn't want of the show of your partner falls madly in love with someone, they run away into the sunset.
Yeah, that's it.
They literally even made the show ending for them look like that, where they look like, I have these tickets. Anywhere in the world, we're gonna go together. We find out literally down the next episode. Yeah, these niggas didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I genuinely also felt I felt like she was confused. Like, the girl definitely gave
super confused vibe.
She doesn't know what she's doing, but I felt her falling for Jake.
I thought the way, it literally looked like that, especially. But maybe I think what really solidified that she was falling for Jake was when her and Zay broke up, and then she went on that date with Jake and it really like
Yeah.
showed. But the thing is, maybe we read into that too much, and it was more like a rebound type of thing, you know, where she was just trying to like
Possibly.
comfort herself after the whole Zay thing, because obviously we know she ended up going back to Zay. But yeah, no, I don't.
I feel like the reason she's probably like that and like so quiet is because she's not really that into guys. Like clearly by the end of it, like now she's dating a girl.
Well,
so,
she was, yeah.
like on the show, and like
They broke up though. Her and
Did
her,
they?
yeah. She said
they're still
she said
together.
no. She said I was with an amazing girl, and she really.
I thought she
no,
is
no.
with an amazing girl.
And now she's single.
Okay.
You know.
Well, regardless, the men didn't seem to really work out.
Yeah.
That well.
You know, and she did say like Jake was like the only person who didn't sexualize her, and she really liked that. You know.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I feel like that would be more common with a girl. You know. To like not sexualizing and care more about your emotions and stuff like that. And I think that's what she really needed. I honestly think that's what she needed. She needed someone who was able to be there with her emotionally the entire time. And Zay definitely didn't do that because Zay was too confrontational for her. Like,
yeah.
I think her and Zay would have worked out if Zay wasn't so confrontational. Like he's just like, and the funniest thing about Zay like is like he's so confrontational, but he runs away as well.
Yeah, he's very like
You know,
get up and leave.
quick
whenever,
fight,
yeah.
and he'll just flight.
Because he brings up something, and once the girl starts responding, he's like, bye. He's like, wait, but you're not listening to me. You're not hearing me out. The fact that he did that in the reunion tells me he didn't learn anything about maturity or anything. He's just like, I'm getting up and leaving. Like,
you know, like it was weird. You know, it was weird. Like obviously, we're not him, but I don't rate it. Like just you can't just walk away from things. Like there's sometimes that things are so vexing. They're so vexing, but I'll still stay there and just listen to the crap. You know, because you have to talk it out as much as you can. You know, but you can't just walk. Be like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going. Like it's only after it's been going on for like an hour. You've been chatting for bare, and it's like you realize you're not going to. You're like, all right, let's stop. Put this on hold and let's move away.
yeah, but at least
know?
you'd say, let's put this on hold. He's putting it himself on hold and moving on. You know.
Yeah, I know. He just walks
no,
off.
us too.
No.
Didn't really like that about him, but. On to the last couple then that we have, which was Madeline and Colby. Very interesting
you
couple.
This,
I don't know. It was an interesting couple. I hated her from the very get go. She pounced on the idea of being on the show and just being
absolutely
with someone else.
Pounced on Randall. She was already mentally sleeping with Randall before she even fucking
Literally
talked to him.
100%. I didn't like that. I didn't like how she talked about Colby to her friends and stuff just because they had someone else there, which, by the way, I think the friends wanted to sleep with Randall anyway. So
yeah, honestly, watch your friends.
Watch your friends. The way she was just kind of like talking down about him constantly, and none of the other couples were doing that. They weren't chatting shit like that. They were like,
these are our problems.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, these are our problems, These are our issues. Where she's like, Kobe's a little piece of shit, man.
Exactly.
Kobe sucks. Randall is so good. Kobe sucks. And then her friends are like, yeah, Kobe sucks. Randall's so good. Kobe sucks.
Exactly. No, don't rate that at all. Don't rate her. Kobe was okay. He was pretty chill.
Kobe was calm up until he just couldn't see reality for reality. As in, like, the whole thing with the whole, everyone else was having a good time, so I went to go find outside experience. To be fair to him, at the end of in the reunion, he did admit that was the worst way to go about it, and that he felt wrong. But at the time, he was unable to admit that this was his So he took blame for what happened, but said the reason that happened was because of Madeline.
Yeah, it's because of you. I did it because of you.
Yeah, but in reality, it was because of him.
Yeah.
And I hated that he couldn't take responsibility of that. And the weird thing about Madeline and Kobe is the fact that, as we said, Madeline kept saying Kobe sucks. Kobe could never sit in reality, and Madeline hated that. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But she still said yes to him at the very end of the day.
Yeah.
What kind of big brain fuck was that situation?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
When I tell you I gasped when she said yes, I was like, I did not see this coming.
No. But you know what I hated even more about her? When the whole thing, like when she got back together with Kobe after everything, she used every single thing that he did as an excuse to to almost like forgive everything that she did.
Yeah.
I was like, bitch, excuse me, no. Like
No.
you did your part, you did your wrong, and it was like she was definitely a lot more invested in Randall than he was back in her.
More.
So I just didn't like any of that. And then the way that she was pissed off at Randall because he wasn't giving her that like physical.
Yeah, I think she's like, just fuck me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, girl, you're desperate AF. Like,
when she was
on.
drunk and she came back, and then like he's like no to her, and then she fucking went on that hissy fit with the whole thing, while Randall was being like, hey yo, Kobe was out here technically cheating on you, you know? And she's like, no, I don't care.
It doesn't bother me. I don't care. She was crying like,
nah,
girl, come on. And then I think the even bigger like shock moment was that they're having a kid, and I'm like, what?
Kobe was like, you're not gonna be able to run away from me ever again.
What a shit show. I don't know. I just feel like I can't see her like settling. Like it felt forced.
It felt so forced.
It
felt so forced. And especially with all her friends saying no, her mom was like, I'm not against him, but he did do some weird things. And I think honestly she only went for Kobe because he really cares about her. Like Kobe genuinely cares about her and loves her till fucking, he's literally like till death do us part, you know, type of thing.
From infinity to infinity.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So he was like that, and I think she just felt comfortable and it was a safety net, so she just stayed with Kobe. Like that's why she said yes. You know, especially when she knew she wasn't getting Randall, right? Because I can pretty much say if Randall was to be like, hey yo, let's hook up, she would have said yeah.
Yeah, 100%. In a heartbeat.
She would have said yeah. But because Randall never said that, and because Kobe was like so passionate about her, she's like, fuck it. Yeah. We'll just do it. I don't know. It was scoffed. Not gonna lie. It was forced as hell.
But yeah, that's all the couples on the show. So just, you know, about the experience, what are your thoughts? Would you do it? Would you recommend it?
No, I said this when we were watching the show. If you get to the point in your relationship where you have to give the other person an ultimatum, your relationship is doomed for failure. Your relationship is already fucked.
Yeah.
If you have to give someone an ultimatum to get what you want, your relationship is fucked. These are things you discuss, not things that you do this or I go.
Yeah.
You know, you discuss things, try to find the root cause, and then after you find the root cause, you see, is this something that you can either find a middle ground, the other person can move on, or if none of those are an option, then you're like, okay, the best choice for us is to go our separate ways because clearly this is something we cannot resolve.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not a situation of like, oh, you do this or we go, and then you go. It's literally like you've gone as far as you can go with it, and you realize there is no future there. Then you move on, and you both move on happy.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you'll be hurt, but at least you say you broke up in a pleasant way, not in a
neutral
fucking do this or fuck you.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think it's even worse, like, if you're coming to an ultimatum to go on a show.
A fucking show.
To go about it, but, like, as bad as it is, I want a second and third and fourth. I'm gonna eat this shit up because...
But they need good people.
They do. I think there's a lot of screening. There has to be a lot of screening because you have to be really comfortable about being your true self on camera.
Yeah, and also, like, fucking getting people who are so oblivious to who they are, that when
in their 20s too,
you know, so oblivious to who they are on camera that eventually they're like, fuck, when they look at it, they're like, oh my god, like, you know, I wasn't, because like a lot of them were kind of oblivious to their character. Like they all said in the reunion, being like, oh, I look back at it and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing, you know?
But I think I look back at myself 6 months ago and I'm still like, oh, what the fuck was I doing? So I think if you're willing to reflect, you will see a change in yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think them seeing themselves back on camera, they're like, oh, reality is real, kind of thing, you know?
Except for Alexa, she didn't.
A little bit less from her. But I think I just really, really love the show because I felt like there is very little acting needed. Like, you know, you have shows like Love Island and stuff where it's like, go right there, talk to each other and redo that again, or like pull this in person for a chat. It wasn't like that because there are real feelings and emotions involved. Like
your partner is literally being with another person. It's very
bad.
easy for you to be emotional about that.
100%.
You don't need to fake your jealousy because you're jealous.
No, and you could see it. You could see it on them, and like they're like trembling and just like crying and like I don't care. And it's like this is 100% a real situation that I would act the same. Yeah. I know because I've acted the same, or I've seen some friends act the same way, and it's like this is real. And you could see how little it was staged, and the fact that every part was juicy tells me there was very little need to create the juiciness. It just
through
was.
editing and stuff. Like,
it just was.
But one thing I didn't like about the editing was like the weird like gaps of timeline. They'd skip from one thing. Like you could tell that there was at least a few sentences said that were just cut and then just moved on to the.
But I think that's the thing. There was just so much good stuff that you have to skip past. Which the other shows, it's like, oh, this is being dragged on. Like if the other sentences were left there, it would just be dragged on. Whereas here it was very like from this point to next point to next point to next point, and I was just constantly entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's kind of crazy. Not gonna lie.
But it was good. It's interesting.
Would recommend. And if you listen to this episode without watching it, feel free to go watch it. Even though you know what happens, I don't think it spoils it because you can see it'll gauge a reaction out of you anyway because people are just being annoying in certain scenarios. And like obviously, like if you did watch the show, tell us if you agree with us, what you think. Like if you think our takes are completely wrong. If any of you guys that were on the show watch this or somehow come across this and you really hate me for that, run it up. Email us. Our email's there. Hit me up.
TAE Time Podcast.
Come on, state your claim. Defend yourself. I'm waiting.
Yeah, no, like it's very interesting. Like you said, highly recommend. Go watch it. And let us know what you think. Let us know if you want us to talk about anything else on the show or any topic specifically, and we'll be happy to discuss it.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Peace.